Come along, my friends, let's have some fun. Join us now, we're just getting started. In a world of treasures, big and small, trinkets. Trinkets, trinkets ready to explore. Yeah, yeah. Trinket time, it's a magical ride, every corner.
Couldn't find my other hook. So this hook is 3.125 millimeter. I'd advise just using the same crochet hook the whole way. You don't need to go down or up or anything like that. But anyway, so we're going to, by doing a quick magic ring, then do 6 single crochets into this magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So now we're going to pull this tail here. Make sure you pull it nice and tight, and that is the end of the magic ring. So you should have 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next. I'm going to now do my first round, and we're going to be doing a single crochet and then an increase in all the stitches. Start by doing a single crochet. I tend to crochet really tight, so pull up a loop and make sure you bring your tail with you, and we will do 1 single crochet, and I'll place a stitch marker. Now I'm going to do an increase into the next stitch, and then I'm going to do a single crochet and then another increase. So with your increase, remember, that's 2 stitches into the same stitch. So now I'm going to continue doing this all the way around, 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. So there we go. You should have 9 stitches in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I will meet back up with you in a minute to show you what to do next.
From the land of unicorns to the deep blue sea.
So I'm at round 2. In the back loop only, I'm going to do a single crochet 9 times around. So into this back loop, not both of them, but into the back loop, I'm going to do 1 single crochet, and then I'll replace my stitch marker. And I'm just going to keep doing this all the way around. So that'll be 8 more back post single crochets. Back post, single. So that makes 2. Back post, 3. Just continue doing this all the way around, 9. So once you've done that, I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
In our YouTube world.
So we're going to do 4 rounds single crochet all the way up. So I'll remove my stitch marker, and I will place 1 single crochet into the stitch where the stitch marker was placed, and I will replace my stitch marker. So now I'm just going to do 9 single crochets all the way around, 8 more I should say. So 1, this is my second single crochet. What is going on? It's stuck. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that ends round 3. So now I want to continue doing 9 single crochets all the way around 3 more times, and I'll meet back up with you once we've done that. Okay, so I've completed the 3 rounds. This is our back loop only. This is 1 set of single crochets, 2 set of single crochets, and 3 set of single crochets. So now we're going to do round 6. We're going to be doing increasing. So we're going to do 4 increases and 5 that are just normal. So I'll remove my stitch marker, and then I'm going to do 1 single crochet, and then I will replace my stitch marker. Then I'm going to do an increase. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and then I'm going to do 1 single crochet. And then I'm going to do an increase, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and then I'm going to do a single crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets into the same stitch for our increase, and then 1 single crochet. So that ends round 6, and I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
Every every episode, a new adventure unfolds.
So now I'm going to chain up 1, and then I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'll turn my work again.
Come along, my friends, let's have some fun.
So that was the first row across. Now we're going back in the other direction. So we're going to do 6 more single crochets across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. So that finishes the second row.
Join us now, we're just getting started.
Okay, so now for the third time, we're going to do the same. So we're going to be doing 6 single crochets all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That completes row 3, and I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
In a world of treasures, big and small, trinkets.
Righto, so now we're at row 4. So I'm going to chain up and I will turn my work. And now I'm going to do 4 single crochets and then an increase and then a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. And now I'm going to do an increase. 1, 2, and then 1 more single crochet into the last stitch. And then I'll chain 1 and I'll turn my work. So that ends row 4.
In a world of treasures, big and small, trinkets.
Okay, so now we're at row 5. So I'm going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an increase. So 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 2 single crochets. 1 and 2, and a chain 1, and I'll turn my work.
Trinkets, trinkets, trinkets ready to explore.
So we're going to be doing 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a decrease and then 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. So that's the end of row 6, and I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
Yeah. Trinket time, it's a magical ride, every corner holds a
Righto, so I've chained up 1 and I'm just going to turn my work, and now we're at row 7. So we're going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a decrease, and then I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, and I'll turn my work.
prize, sparkling gems and shiny toys, trinkets make a
Righto, so we're at row 8. So I'm going to be doing a single crochet, 2 decreases, and then a single crochet. So 1 single crochet, 2 decreases. So decreases we go and then we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'll turn my work. So I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do for row 9.
Our hearts rejoice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Righto, so now we're going to do 2 decreases. So into this first stitch, and then into the second stitch, giving us 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over, and we pull through all 3 of those loops. That's 1 decrease, and then We're going to do the same for the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, and that is 2 decreases. So that is the end of row 9, and I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
From the land of unicorns to the deep blue sea.
Okay, so we're going to firstly do 1 chain, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in through this last decrease. So don't go through the back stitch here, otherwise you'll end up with a really gaping hole. I tend to go through the middle of this decrease. So there's 1 and 2 single crochets. Now we wanted to be doing 9 stitches all the way up the sole till we get to the end of the connection point to the heel. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also keep in mind when I'm going through these parts, I go through the stitch, not around it. So that's, I think it was 6, 7, 8, and 9. I was correct. So 9 will end the sole, and then we get to the heel, and we're going to do 8 stitches all the way, and we should be ending at that connection point to the sole again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that gives us our 8 stitches around the heel, and then we should have our final 8th stitch going into the connection point to the sole. Now we're going to be doing 9 stitches again all the way up. So don't forget this little stitch here, or it'll just kind of not work out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Righto, so I've done our 9 stitches all the way across. Now into this stitch here, we're going to do an increase. So into this stitch, 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet for our increase. Now into this decrease, it's gone a bit wonky, but into this space here, yours might be easier to see than mine, but into this, we're going to be doing 1 final single crochet, like so. And then I'm going to slip stitch to the end of the round for the sole. So you should have something that looks like this. And yes, it curving like that is normal. That we want that. We want it to have that nice little curve to it. So yeah, this will be your little shoe. And now we're going to start building up. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
In our YouTube world, there's so much to see.
Okay, so we're going to chain 1. And that starts our round. So now I'm going to be doing 4 half double crochets all the way up, yarn over, and then into the same stitch that we did our slip stitch. We're going to start by doing 1 half double crochet into that space, and then we're going to do 3 more. So we want 4 half double crochets in total. So that's 2, 3, whoops, go, and 4 is our 4 half double crochets. Now we're going to do 3 decrease half double crochets. So these 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to decrease with half double crochets. So go through the first loop, pull up a loop, go through the next loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then we pull through all those 4 loops on the hook, doing a half double crochet. So I'm going to do that 2 more times. Pull up a loop, go through, pull up a loop, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through all those 4 loops on the hook. So I'll show you that one more time because we only have 1 more decrease to do. Going through, pull up a loop, 4 loops, and then pull through all 4 of those loops. So that does our 3 decrease. So now we're going to yarn over and we're going to do 1 more half double crochet into the next stitch. 3, pulling through those 3. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And now we're going to do a repeat 2 of an increase, single, increase, single. So into the next stitch, we're going to do an increase. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch. We're going to do 1 single crochet. And then we repeat that. We're going to do increase, 2 singles into the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet. And then we're going to do another increase into the last stitch here. So 1, 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Now I'm going to do 1 single crochet, and then I'm going to do a half double crochet into the next stitch. And now I'm going to decrease again 3. So 1, 2, and then 3 decreases. So 1, 2, and then 3 decreases. Now I do a half double crochet.
In every episode, a new adventure.
Okay, so now we're going to do the next round, and we're going to start by chaining up 1. Now we're going to do 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets. First one into the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 half double crochets, like so. Now we're going to do a decrease. So 1 decrease into the next stitch. So a decrease into this stitch here, like so. And then we're going to do 2 more half double crochets into our next 2 stitches. So 1, and then 2 half double crochets. Now I'm going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2 single, 3 single. And then I'm going to be doing an increase, 2 single crochets into 1 stitch, 1 single crochet, another increase, 2 single crochets into that same stitch, 1 single, increase. And now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. So 1, and then 2 half double crochets. And then I'm going to do a decrease to the stitch here. And then I'm going to do 1 half double crochet 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then at this very top place, I'm going to do a decrease. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the shoe again. Slip stitch, and that ends the next part of our round. So you'll have a nice little shoe. Looks something like this. So yeah, once you've done that, I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
Unfolds. Trinkets, trinkets, let the story.
Okay, so now we're at the next round, and I'm just going to quickly chain up 1. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to do 5 half double crochets all the way up. So 1 into the same, 2, 3, 4, 5 half double crochets. So into this same stitch here, we're going to do our first half double crochet, and then 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So that's our 5 half double crochets, and now I'm going to be doing a decrease. So we yarn over, and just like before, we pull through both of them, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops on the hook. Now we're going to be doing 2 half double crochets. So 1, 2 half double crochets, and then we're going to be doing 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and then 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do an increase, 1, increase, 1, increase. So increase, 1 stitch, increase, 1 stitch, and then 1 more increase. Now I'm going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do 1 half double crochet, and then I'm going to be doing a decrease again. So 1 decrease, and now I'm going to be doing 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, I'm going to be doing 1 decrease. So at the very top, I'm going to be doing 1 decrease half double crochet. And now finally, I'm going to slip stitch at the top of the first half double crochet of the round. So that ends this round. So you should have something that looks like this. It's starting to look like a heel now. So yeah, once you've done this, I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next. So we're going to start by doing a chain, and then I'm going to do a decrease, half double crochet, decrease 2. So into these 2 we're going to do a decrease, and then into these 2 we do a decrease. We will do 1 half double decrease, and then we're going to do a second half double decrease, like so. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 half double crochets, and then I'm going to do 18 stitches all the way around. We go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 18. Now we're going to do 2 decreases. So 1 decrease, and then 2 decrease. I'll bring this loop up. I'm just going to cut that off. About, yeah. Do an invisible join. So we're going to go through, pull that up, and then I'll just through those stitches there, like so. These 2, and I'll just quickly pull that up. I'll just attach it into that one. It doesn't really matter like where you attach this stuff. We're just making a nice little join, and that is our little heel part completed. Once you've gotten this far and you would do an invisible join, don't do a slip stitch. There's our little heel done, and I will meet back up with you to show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm just going to go 11 stitches up to the back of the heel. So just where we've done our invisible stitch, right, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then into this 11th stitch, into the back stitch here, I'm going to attach my black yarn. Like so. I'm just going to quickly chain onto that stitch. Now I'm going to quickly go into that same stitch and do 1 single crochet. Now make sure when you're doing this, you're carrying the tail along with you, okay? So I'll just place a stitch marker into this space just so you can see where it is, just because it's a bit hard to see black. Now I'm going to continue doing 5 more single crochets in the back loops along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that gives us 6 single crochets in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to do a decrease into the back loop only. So everything you're going to be doing in this round will be in the back loop only. So into these next 2 stitches, I'm going to pull through, and that makes my decrease. Now I'm going to do a half double crochet. So a yarn over and into the next stitch, I'm going to do 1 half double crochet, and I'm going to yarn over. And now I'm going to do a decrease half double into the next 2 stitches. So going through the back loop, pull up, loop, pull up, and then we pull through all those 4 stitches on the hook. Now I'm going to do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, onto the back loop of the next stitch, I should say. Again, just remember everything's in the back loop for this entire round. And now I'm going to do another decrease. So 1, whoop, went through the wrong part. I'll move that tail out of the way. Decrease. There we go. Now I'm going to do another half double crochet into the next stitch. And then again a decrease. So this one will be a bit difficult because that's where we've done the yarn where it attaches, but also with this, make sure you're going around the tail of that white as well. We're doing a decrease, so into the next back loops, like so. And then we're going to do a half double crochet. So now we're going to do a decrease, and a half double crochet. Now I'm going to do another decrease. But we're just doing a single decrease. So a single crochet decrease, not a half double crochet decrease. And then we're going to finish by doing 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, and I'll bring that forward, and 3. So I will just quickly add that slip stitch. And that ends my round. So you should have a little booty that looks like this. So yeah, so that's our next round, and I'll meet back up with you to show you what to do next.
Trinkets make our hearts rejoice. Yeah, yeah.
We're going to chain up 1. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but if you can hear the rain, there's not much I can do about the rain. It's pouring down here at the moment. But anyway, we're going to chain up 1, and then we're going to do 5 single crochets. So 1 into the same stitch that we just did our slip stitch. We want to bring the white with us. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now at this point we can drop the white. Doesn't matter if it comes with it or not, but we should have 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to do a decrease. So 1 decreasing stitch into the next 2 spaces, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. Now we're going to do 3 decreasing all the way across. So 1, 2, and then 3. So 1 decrease. Make sure it's all nice and tight. In the next space, we do 2 decrease. And then we're going to do 3 decrease. So that's our 3 decreases. Now I'm going to do 1 single crochet. Then I'm going to do another decrease into this next space. And then I'm going to do 2 more single crochets. So 1 and 2. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch at the top of the standing single. So that is the second round of our black. But yeah, so you should have something that's looking like this. Around this point, I'm just going to get some stuffing. I'm not going to stuff the whole thing. I just want to do a little to get that heel into place. So I'm just going to chuck a stitch marker just so I don't accidentally pull it out. And I will grab I use my crochet hooks to do this. I might just pull a bit off first, and I'll just slowly put some stuffing into the heel. Look at that. Not sure if you can see, but you want it to be nice and firmly into that heel. And I'll just chuck the rest of this into the little shoe area just to give it some form while I'm doing the last couple of rounds. You can do this later on. I just tend to do it at this point just because the opening is a bit easy to get in there. Put some more stuffing and grabbing my trusty hook, cramming my little stuffing in there like so. So now with some stuffing, you should have something that looks a bit weird. We will be attaching the heel down, but for now, you're fine just as it is. So yeah, that's your stuffing done. Do the heel first. It'll just make the whole thing a lot easier. It's a lot easier than trying to stuff the heel after you've put all the stuffing in there. Once you've done that, I'll meet back up with you for the next round.
From the land of unicorns to
Righto, so we're going to do a chain one, and then we're going to be doing 6 single crochets. So that's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1 decrease, the next space, like so. Then I'm going to do a single crochet, single. Then I'm going to do another decrease. Then I'm going to do a single crochet. Pull that one a bit tighter. I'm going to do 1 more decrease and a final single crochet. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch into the top of the very first single crochet. So you should have something that looks like this. And then I'll meet back up with you in a minute to show you what to do next.
the deep blue sea in our YouTube world.
Okay, so I'm going to be doing 5 back loop slip stitches. So skipping this first one that we just did our slip stitch into, we want to start with 1 slip stitch into this stitch here. 1, 2, remembering always to do the back loop only. 3, 4, and 5 slip stitches. Now I'm going to be doing a decrease into the next 2 stitches here. I'm going to do single crochet, decrease. So 1 decrease. And then I'm going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitches. So 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And now I'm going to do 1 more decrease. So 1, 2, decrease, and then into this last stitch here we're going to do a back loop slip stitch. Okay, so you should have 10 stitches all the way around once you get to this point. Now we're going to be doing our stitches just into these front loops. So see how we've got front loop of the previous round. So we want to be doing our single crochets into those front loops. So you should have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and make sure you keep this one here free. Okay, so by skipping that one, we go to the next. Into the front loop, single crochet. So 1 single. And I'm just going to mark off this stitch just to make life a bit easier. 2, 3 into that front loop, 4, and 5 front loop single crochets. Now I'm going to be doing 4 single crochets at the front stitches. So 1, Whoops, let me get into that stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. And now I'm going to do 1 front loop single crochet. So with this one, it's going to be a bit tricky to get the front loop, but it is here. So there's our loop. I tend to find if I just kind of space it out with a hook, it makes it a bit easier to get that last front loop. Okay, so that's our final front loop there to do our final single crochet. There we go. Okay. It's always difficult. So that is our stitches all the way around. So you should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That is the end of this round, and I'll meet back up with you in a moment to show you what to do next.
Episode.
Do a few rounds, 4 times of single crochets. So where we just removed our stitch marker, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then I will replace my stitch marker. And now I'm going to do 9 more stitches all the way around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 9, and finally number 10 for our last stitch. Like so. So I'm going to repeat doing that 3 more times. I will meet you back up in a minute to show you what to do. Righto, so this should be what you have so far. You should have something that looks like this, okay? Oh, also I'll just snip this off. And I'll just pull that out, remove my stitch marker, and I'm going to do a quick invisible stitch and the round, and that'll do for now.
A new adventure unfolds. Trinkets, trinkets, let the...
Righto, so I'm going to start doing around the shoe just to finish the shoe off. So for this, I just grab some yarn, well, usually what's left over of my shoe or whatever, and I just go up through the heel and about center back as much as possible. I'll just come up through there. So this might be a bit difficult. There we go. And I just pull a nice long tail through. Doesn't have to be anything perfect, but just roughly that should be absolutely more than enough. Actually, I could probably lose some of it, but either way. Now, you don't have to be completely perfect with this. You just need to go roughly around about the center. I probably could have went one over, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Now, where did I put my hook? There's my hook. So for this also, I'm just going to pull up this stitch, and then I'm going to start by doing 1 slip stitch here, like so. There's no real right or wrong way to do this. I just roughly go around, and then at the front here, I usually have it so I will have a front post somewhere at the front, as center front as possible. So this is 1, and we'll go 2 slip stitches, 3, whoops, missed 2 of them, 3 slip stitches, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and yeah, 10. We'll do 10 slip stitches. Now I'm going to do a quick decrease, slip stitch decrease. So I just kind of twist around these 2, and I usually twist back to do my slip stitch. Actually, I might make it 1 over. So I'm just going to pull out that decrease and that 1 single, and I'll move the decrease 1 back just to make it more centered. Okay, so well, what am I doing? There's my decrease. There we go. Now I'll do one slip stitch. And then, yeah, I will go around this stitch with a front post. Slip stitch. So. Then I'll do my slip stitch here. And then I'll do a decrease. Slip stitch decrease. There we go. Oop, I missed the... This part's very tricky. But you get there eventually. And it's a bit harder now because I'm trying to record everything while I'm doing it. So yeah, just a bit of trial and error. You just want it to be as center onto the foot as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now I just slip stitch all the way up. So I should have roughly 9 slip stitches, I think, left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was correct. 9 slip stitches left. And then I'm just going to pull that tail through, and I'm just going to finish it off by doing an invisible stitch. I just like it because I think it makes it look a little bit more put together. Now, with your slip stitch, it's a bit hard to figure it out, but if you pull it forward like so, you should be able to see where the stitches are. So when you pull it forward, this is where we're going to be doing our invisible stitch, and also making sure we don't tangle it. I might make that tail a little bit shorter. It's very long. There we go. Sorry about that. And then again, pull it forward and making sure I go through that stitch. Whoops. Like so. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut off the end of this yarn because we don't actually need it. I'll just pull that out. And now, with all of my round completed, I'm just going to go back in and pull up the heel. So we want to make the heel nice and flat. So to do that, I just go in like so and pull it up. It'll be a bit fiddly to do it. You don't want to pull it too tight, but you want it to be nice and flat at the same time. So, and I just do this probably about 3 or 4 times at the heel. So we pull it out again. There we go. Yeah, and I'll just do one more. So I'm going to do 3. 3 goes through just to make that heel nice and flat. Okay. And again, just use your needle just to flatten it out. So you want it to be nice and flat like so. Now we're going to press down our heel to our shoe. Okay, so for this part, I tend to come in roughly here, and then 1, 2 on the third one, I come in and I just pull it tight. Okay, now we press it down. You can get a bit fiddly with it if you want. I just kind of make it kind of bunch up like that, and you want your stitch to come in through onto the heel. So roughly I go eyeball it a little bit. We go here, and then I just eyeball it, and then again around about the center of the heel we want to, so around about there, that'll do. We're going to pull that and close it off. Okay, and then again to the other side of that loop, just making sure you can see what I'm doing. We're just going to pull our little heel, creating a nice little slope like so. Now before I very much kind of stick it in properly and make sure everything's in place, I just kind of make sure it stands. Okay, if it stands, then we're doing something right. Okay, that's my little tester. Does it stand on its own? If yes, then I've done it right. So now I'm just going to, doesn't really matter where, just back into the heel, we just pull up the yarn and reinforce it a bit. Too tight, because you don't want to accidentally squish up all your stuffing, but you want it to be tight enough that it's secure, and you should have a little heel that will stand. And again, like what you always do, I just, if there's any little openings, I just kind of close them up with the yarn. So I just go through and I make some little, just to make it look a little bit more put together. You don't have to do this. This is just something a little bit extra that I do. Now, if you don't feel as though that's secure enough, you can always just come back in with some more yarn and, you know, tidy it up a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. Now we've got a shoe. There's our two little mini shoes. So they should be able to stand on their own, like so. As I said, if you want, just go back in. See how with this one I've made it a little bit more tighter and I've really pulled those stitches close. Just go back in with some more yarn. That's pretty much it. So now you've got your two little shoes and now we attach them to Minnie.
Unfolds. Trinkets, trinkets, let the story.
Okay, so now with all our little Mickey Mouse bits and Minnie Mouse bits made, we're going to start putting them all together.
Come along, my friends, let's have some fun. Join us now, we're just getting started. In a world of treasures, big and small, trinkets. Trinkets, trinkets ready to explore. Yeah. Trinket time, it's a magical ride. Every corner holds a surprise. Sparkling gems and shiny toys. Trinkets make.
Righto, so I'm going to do the tail, and just for this, I just do a quick slip stitch, and then I chain up 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So now I'll just cut off the end, and that gives us our tail. Now I'm going to quickly attach the tail, pick a spot at his butt, maybe a little bit further down. We don't want his, yeah, no, that looks good. And we just pull through his tail.
The hearts rejoice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. From the land of unicorns to the deep blue sea.
Righto, so we're going to attach at the center. So just find roughly the center part of Minnie and you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want the fourth stitch to kind of end at her arm. And on the other side, again, whoops, I don't want to accidentally push those, take her stuffing out. I'll just cram that back in. And then we want to do 4 across to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that's ending at around about her arm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And both should be ending roughly at the arm. Okay, so at this center space, we're going to attach our yarn and just do a quick slip stitch like so. Now into the same space, so I'm going to come up and I will do a single crochet into that same space. Now I'm going to do 3 more single crochets across. Make sure I bring the tail with me. So 1, 2, and then 1 more, 3, and that gives us a total of 4 single crochets. Now I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn Minnie around.
In our YouTube world, there's so much to see.
And now I'm going to do a decrease. Three loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through all 3 of those. It's my first decrease. And then my second decrease. I always find it hard to do this part when I'm trying to film it at the same time. There we go. Yeah. And then we do our decrease. I don't know why that one was so hard to get in, but anyway, we'll do a chain, turn Minnie again.
In every episode, a new adventure.
And then we'll do another decrease at the top, like so, and then pull through all 3.
Unfolds. Trinkets, trinkets, let the story.
And then I'm just going to do 20 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then I'll just pull that through, and that creates my first little part for Minnie's little dress.
Stories be told. Trinket time, it's a magical ride. Every corner holds a surprise. Sparkling gems and shiny toys.
And now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to turn my work this time. I'll bring back in my white yarn, and then I will attach to the next space like so. Quickly do slip stitch and do a single crochet into that same space. Now I'm just going to do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm just going to chain 1. Oops. Chain 1, and I will turn my work.
The hearts rejoice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So just like before, 2 decreases. Chain 1, 10 Minnie again.
From the land of unicorns to the deep blue sea.
And then we do another decrease.
From the land of unicorns to the deep blue sea.
And now we do our chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then around the back, maybe I might make it 25. I might make it 25 just to make the little, yeah. So into this bit, I'm just going to pull this out and reattach. So that's 20. I'll add 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll add 5 more to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they both should be pretty much the same. I'm just going to snip the same amount off this tail in case I want to add a little bit more or change it around a little bit. Got fluff everywhere. I'm pretty happy with the length of Minnie's little ties. I think we could do a little bow with Minnie's ties pretty easily. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. There we go. So now you just sew in your little ends here because you don't want them sticking out. And with these little ends, I tend to just sort of put them into the sides. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to unloop this and I'm going to pull out the stitch markers. I'm going to get the end of our yarn and I'm just going to weave it back through the chains. Okay, so just back through all the way down. I'm just going to weave it through. I'm going to continue doing this and I'll meet back up with you in a minute to show you what to do. Okay, so now I've done both sides, so they're all nice and ended. I've got my little bits at the end. We can attach this at the back. Little Minnie's bow. I'm not very good at doing bows, but there we go. There's probably a nicer way to do it, but that'll do. I'm just going to, at this front section here, where I've pulled the 2 ends in, I'm just going to do a quick little knot and then weave in the ends. I'll just press the little knot in just so it makes it a bit easier. Make sure my end is in my needle before I pull it through her leg. There we go. Now, we're going to go through and we'll come out at her shoe. Doesn't really matter where. There we go. And we'll bring down Minnie's poor little dress. And there we go. There's Minnie done. So she now has her little dress.
Every episode, a new adventure unfolds.
There's little Minnie Mouse. We have a Mickey Mouse as well. Thank you for supporting my little channel. I apologize that it took me so long to get this one out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope to see you next time. I hope you enjoy. For now, bye.
Trinkets, trinkets, let the stories be told.